Hi guys. Can you guys hear me? Hi. Mm, we have two people online. Can you hear me? Please, can you let me know if you hear me, people on YouTube? Because I'm trying to test out using a different mic today. Oh my goodness. What's with this noise on? Do reading part four. Okay. I don't know. I'm hearing some squishing. Can anybody hear that noise on TikTok? Okay, the noise are actually. Am I the only one that is hearing a squishing noise, or because I'm listening to both sides? I noticed last week that when I was playing the live video, and I noticed that the mic always break out at some point. So I wanted to try out different mic today. So I will put that in. I think the noise was from the fact that I'm using two audios side by side. So I'm going to be changing my mic. So you guys should tell me which one is clearer. So this is a different mic. Just tell me if you like this mic better, and then I would also check do this one I intend to use today, and tell me if that one is better. So this is a different mic. I'm going to remove it now and change to another mic, and then we can decide. So now I have a different mic. Which one do you guys which one do you guys think is better? The first one or this one that I'm talking with right now? The first one. Okay. All right. So we're going to stick with it. Okay. So it's, I think I'm sharing the same thing. Okay. So let's start. Also, I may not be using as much time as I did last Saturday and Sunday because I was on my mom's. Because I'm very exhausted. I had a very busy, extremely busy week. If not that, I love to honor my commitments. I like to honor my commitments. I wouldn't be here today. So I'll just try my best, see how far we can go. And like we said, we'll try and and use timing for today. I'm going to be doing self people listening today too. Somebody reached out to me and personally asked me to do self people listening, and the person's exam is this week, coming week. So also, so I'm going to be after doing this part four. I'm going to do a couple of practicing Celpip listening, and then we may call it a day. I may come back and do part three of reading. I don't know, depending on how I feel. But right now, I don't feel so good. I had a very, very busy week, and I'm exhausted. Uh, so, like I said, we're going to start. The person that asked for part four, do you have any particular one that you wanted us to uh, do? Or I can just pick anyone and then we start. Oluwatoyin, you said I should do part four self-paced reading. The first one. Helen, do you is it for self-paced listening you're talking about the first one? Or okay, oh, you're talking about the mic, sorry. Forgot I asked that. So the person that asked for self-paced reading, should I just go ahead and pick any question, or you have a particular one you had issues with that you wanted us to do? And then I don't even have a paper here. Okay. Yes. Okay, I'll go ahead, pick one question, and then we'll do it, and we'll do self-paced listening, and maybe come back to reading. Please, is this recorded? If yes, please, when are you posting it on your YouTube? Okay. For the recording, I think YouTube automatically records it because I noticed I didn't even know. So I was thinking I was going to have to edit and all, but eventually after each class, the videos are automatically on my YouTube. Let me show you before we move on. So you go to my YouTube. If you go to my YouTube, um, then you go to live, you can see the live. This is the one we did. I don't know if this is Saturday on, and then this is the Sunday on. Yeah. So you will see them. They automatically, this one even have like 197 views already, and this one people are actually watching it. So you can always go back to YouTube and watch those videos. Um, any live video we finished or something. So it's automatically uploads on YouTube. So I don't need to take time to edit it, so I just leave it that way. And I wanted to edit it before to cut off the places where there is long talk, but I have not had time. Like my work was very hectic this week. So let's go ahead and start this question. And we said last week that we were going to be using time. And so I will try and do time practice, but I don't know how using time is going to work because if I'm going to be using time, that means I will not maybe take time to explain anything. I will just read, pick my answer. But what I intend to do is I will pick my answers today, what I plan to do since we wanted to use time, make sure we finished and use time. What I intended to do is to do it. I will read the question. I will study and skim my passages like I always do the questions, and then before I submit, I will now like explain the reason why I picked my answer. I don't know how that will work, but because people here last week were saying we should be paying attention to time. So I wanted to do that today. So I mean, I would not be saying much. I will just go ahead, pick my answers, and then after that, I can just explain maybe the reason why I picked my answer before we hit submit so that we see how we can use time. Because one thing Celpip test you for is time. So I'm going to reload this so that the timing can start all over again, and then I will start answering the question. Where is paper? I'm not even prepared. I'm not prepared for today's class. Anyways, so let's start. Um, is the screen? I know TikTok is always cutting off. Like one side of the audio video will be cut off. I don't know. Are you guys seeing everything? I think part of it is cut off on my own phone. I don't know. Let me see. TikTok always. Oh, YouTube people, please just give me a little while. I'm trying to. Okay, yeah, I think it's better on TikTok now. So I will go back to the question. So I will start now. Um, in the heart of the And also, before we start again, so I want to say everything before we start. I wouldn't be looking at the comment or anything, so that because I'm trying to use my time, and I wouldn't be looking at the comment or anything. So I may, when I finish the question, you can start asking your questions then. And if you want to drop a comment, you can drop it then if we finish, so that it doesn't distract us from the time. In the heart of Vancouver, urban planner May Young stand at a newly installed tactile sidewalk intersection, watching as a visually impaired resident navigate it with confidence. According to Canadian Urban Institute, only 27% of public spaces in major Canadian cities currently meet comprehensive accessible accessibility standard. Okay. For one, accessibility is non-negotiable. The project came in 15% over budget, but Wong maintained the investment will pay dividend through increased foot traffic to local businesses and reduce isolation among elderly and disabled residents. Not everyone shares Wong enthusiasm about this for these modifications. This there has to be a more there has to be a more balanced approach that considers the economic realities of small businesses. Transit advocate Jamal Hassan offers a different perspective, pointing to the economic benefits of accessible design. The question should never be whether we can afford to make our cities accessible, but rather how we can afford not to. Another pedestrian effortlessly navigate the tactile sidewalk that would have been an insurmountable barrier just months before. Is this where this stopped? Oh, this is a short passage actually. Sorry, you guys, this is a short passage. I don't like it. Do we go, or is it me that didn't pick, that didn't read everything? Because one thing I try to do is I try to pick a longer passage. Sorry, I tried to pick a longer passage, but this passage looks very short. Anyways, I would go ahead and answer the question, even though I'm wasting my own time. But I wanted something longer. So the main article discusses dash. I picked this one. May Wang believes the accessibility features dash. Okay. May Young is my keyword, accessibility features. So I go look at uh, where they mention May Wong, and this is the first place. Sorry. So for this, sorry, I supposed to be actually be talking at least two. So for this one, I'm using concern about accessibility requirements, and Robert Keller is what I'm using. So Robert Keller and then accessibility requirements. Extensive modification to comply with municipal standard costing nearly 85,000. Okay. So we have to. So here, Jamal Hassan Toronto subway is my keyword. So I see Toronto subway here. So I start reading. His organization documented how transit increased. Okay. Yes, okay. Sorry, you guys. Turn on the light. Yes. The 4% seniors and people with disability as a as a use public. Oh, how can I say? So when I read this question, I wanted to say something because I may forget it. Immediately I read this question, anything based on article, try to look for it in the first paragraph. I didn't bother to check, so I didn't see it initially. I can't remember when I read it, but I know I saw it here. So you know that's always in the first paragraph anyway. So according to only 27% accessibility standard. So I have finished my question. I have more time, as you can see. But like I said, for me, I think this passage is short, and they even recognize it because normally the ones we always have something like opinion of the people, and that is why I felt like I was surprised when I saw the end of the passage. I felt like it was incomplete. And here you can see that they said what is missing from this discussion, however, is the voice of who actually uses these accessibility features daily. Their experiences would provide valuable insight into which modifications are most beneficial, because here we are looking for the one that best fits in and should be prioritized when budgets are limited. So since I have 4 minutes, when I finished, I have 4 minutes, I have time to go over my questions again. And oh, part of it is not showing. Which part is not showing, please? Joyous Savior. I From my phone, I don't know if I can see it. Can you confirm that you're seeing everything, TikTok people? So now I'm going to review. Let me finish reviewing, then I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but I'm going to be reviewing now. So the main article discusses dash. So I picked this one because when I don't know, okay, I read it out loud, and you can see that they were discussing about urban accessibility. What urban accessibility means is how accessible the road is, or the road is to people that are disabled or different users, because I know a lot of developed countries try to make the road very accessible. For instance, when you get to crosswalk, they make it kind of flat and make it like sliding instead of being a step, so that people that uses what's it called, wheelchair, or the likes of workers can actually be able to access the urban facilities, the road and everything. And I think here they were talking about sidewalk intersection. Sidewalk is always like those places, and for people in Canada, you know what sidewalk is. For people outside Canada, sidewalk are those places that are left for pedestrians to walk on, not the main road, but those places beside the main road where you walk. But however, why I picked this is they were talking about the challenges and perspective. Everybody was sharing their opinion, and this is why I picked this place. They didn't really talk about yes, they mentioned tactile sidewalk, but if you are going to be looking at the things mentioned in a particular place, then like, you are not mainly discussed the article's main idea discussed from the beginning to the end. And what was discussed from the beginning to the end is the challenges and different perspective on this urban accessibility. This is how I picked part one, number one question. Then part two, I say part two. Number two, how I picked this response is the fact that I said Meng Young believes that accessibility features. Before I continue, if I was reviewing an exam, I wouldn't take this long to be reviewing one particular answer. I would have gone straight to the ones I had doubts and reviewed them first. And then, so I'm just telling you like strategies I use. If I have doubts, when I finish, because most times, when we were doing all those practice last week, and I tell people I have time after doing, because the way I do it, it looks like, oh, I take the whole lot of time to do it. And I don't have much time left after picking my responses. Like you see, I have 4 minutes left after doing this question. And even if it's a longer passage, I will still have much time because I don't read the whole passage. I read only the first line and the last line. And then I use my keywords to search, go exactly where I know. Because when I'm reading, I already know when I skim that passage, I already know where I saw these names and all. So you see me, the moment I wanted to search, I know exactly the paragraph I'm going to. I know exactly. And somebody reached out to me on in my DM the other day asking me, oh, she forgets which is the passage. I said, if you're going to be forgetting certain things, for instance, in this particular one, you know that is opinion. So a strategy. I know our time is up, but now at least the essence of this passage is for me to show you people that you can finish on time and still have time to review. So if you want to know exactly, you may be the type that may have forgotten where you came from beginning to the end. Since you know that number four, or what's the called passage, this part four of self-help reading is about opinion, and it's different people's perspective. The point when you were skimming your passage, like trying to understand what the this thing is saying when you are skimming your passage before starting the questions. When you see certain name like, oh, for here now, for one, you know that, oh, this place, you can write A and write Wong. And then when you get to this place, when you are reading this place that you say, oh, Robert Keller, you can write B, Keller. Don't write their full name because you already know there is no two people cannot be answering the same full name and last name. Then you can go to the first one. I see Jamal Hassan. I can choose Jamal. I can paragraph C. Jamal. Oh, that's D. D Jamal. I don't know what's C. Okay, C is Keller and O. So you know where you see what, so that when you're at that point, you are not starting from the beginning and researching things where they are not. At least you already know where Keller is located. Then you now take your second keyword and that is, you already know that Keller is in paragraph C. Then your second keyword is what you are now using to search, which is accessibility, main concern about accessibility requirement. Your second keyword um can be, what is it called? Oh, sorry. Your second keyword can be phrase, and it can be a word. So sometimes it's a phrase that would give you, and then when you are using it, you put in your mind that you are looking for synonym. So now this one, me wonk, I know is in paragraph. I saw it in paragraph one when I read it because they even started here, urban planner in third new plan, and I also saw it in paragraph two. Two for one, that's a continuation. So I know exactly where to read. So believe that accessibility features, mhm, um, I saw it here, is non-negotiable. Universal design benefits everybody, and this is why I picked this. Benefits everybody, provide advantages to diverse group of people. Are primary beneficial to we share users? No. Even though, yeah, I don't know. I know that they mentioned disabled residents, but disabled residents are not only people on wheelchair, right? There are people that use walker and not wheelchair. So if you say, oh, wheelchair, that means you're not looking at his overall idea. But this is where, like for instance, accessibility features, it believes that accessibility features, for one, accessibility is non-negotiable. Universal design benefits everybody, that is not just people with visible disabilities. And that is why he said provide advantages to diverse group of people. This is what made me pick this answer. For this one, should be implemented regardless of the cost. I don't know if he said something like that, but his main idea is to make sure that it provides advantage to everybody, not just people with disability. Then my third response, the reason why I picked this answer, Robert Keller main idea, main concern about accessibility requirement. I know this one was focused on, when I skimmed through the passage when we started, was focused on cost. And then I used Robert Keller. I know it was in the last, in the third, um, what's it called? Paragraph C. I went straight to my paragraph C. You people see how I didn't start scrolling up and down when I know exactly where to go for what. And that is what you'll be doing skimming. You are trying to understand your passage. Understanding your passage is what helps you manage time. You know exactly where to look. So I go straight to C, and I use the second keyword. They also asking what is concerned about accessibility requirement, the financial impact on business operation. Okay, let's read all the other options. The aesthetic impact on historical building, no. The complexity of implement, no. He was more concerned about the cost and the convenience, the inconvenience to existing customers. I don't know if he, but then I use my keyword. His main concern about accessibility. Not everyone, okay, enjoyed it. So, where did I even use? Okay, his concern, Robert concern, a business owner expresses frustration at the financial burden placed on private enterprise. You see it, financial burden, financial impact on business operation. This is synonym. This is like paraphrasing. So this is how I picked this particular one. Then the next one I picked it. This is the next one. Sorry, you guys. My eye is seeing double today. Jamal Hassan is the next opinion. I know like it was in the last paragraph, and I would now pick my second keyword, which is Toronto subway. I go straight to the last paragraph. I'm looking for Toronto. So I'm not reading everything like you said. I always say this: when you are searching, when you are using your keyword to search, you are just looking for that keyword. I saw Toronto subway, and then I read where it starts. His organization has documented how public ridership increased by 34% among seniors and people with disabilities following accessibility upgrade to Toronto sub stations. So this is it. Business revenue increased substantially. No, uh, more seniors More seniors and disabled people used public transit. This is it. His documented ridership increased by 34%. That is increase is more, right? Among seniors and people with disabled people. So this is how I picked my answer. Then based on the article, what percentage of public space in Canadian cities meets comprehensive accessibility standard? And like I always say, anything that has to be one thing I have noticed about Celpip reading is the fact on this part 4 is the fact that anything that is based on the overall view of the article is always found in paragraph 1. At that time when I saw it, I actually forgot if I read something like this, like when I was skimming, but I already know that because I already have a thorough idea of how my paragraph is arranged based on the article. That is, general things about the article. I know I was going to find it in paragraph 1, and that is why immediately I read something that I saw based on the article. You saw me then, I scroll straight up. I didn't know. I know I read this because I always read my first line and my last line, but I forgot sincerely at that point. But I know based on the article, I know that based on the article is going to be on paragraph 1 because the other ones are opinions. So I went straight to my paragraph, my first paragraph, and immediately I was scrolling up immediately. So I know that they are looking for percentage numbers, right? And that is what they are looking for. My mind is already telling me how what percentage. I know I'm looking for number and percentage. It's easier to cite number. And when I was scrolling up immediately, I saw 27 and I read it and I see it. According to the Canadian Urban Institute, only 27% of public spaces in major Canadian cities currently meet comprehensive accessibility standard. So I picked it. That was what I picked. That was how I picked this part that is majorly based here, and this one that is filling the gap, the one we feel that is more befitting. So for me, the article highlight the ongoing. It's supposed to be like debate or perspective or like debate, but I did not see anything that is not a competition. It's not legislation. Legislation is like law. It's not collaboration, right? So this is like it's like okay, debate is tension, like they are debating, but not like I feel like tension is the one that most fitted here. That is more fitted here because it's more suitable to debate. Other ones are not um, did not fill in the gap, did not best are not the best option for this particular place. This is why I picked tension, the tension between, because they were not collaborating, neither were they competing with one another, or is there like a legislation? No. So the second one, why I appreciate one's perspective that universal design benefit multiple users. If we remember, that was what provide advantage to multiple diverse group of people. And that was what is in the passage. Benefit multiple users. I think Keller makes a valid point about the financial burden on business. Perhaps the solution lies in government subsidies for required modifications. This is what I feel. If you look at the options now, stricter enforcement for existing regulation. No, because this person is acknowledging that yes, this thing benefits so many people, that is the accessibility design, but then they cannot lie that it also places burden on the businesses because they are saying like the burden if business has to also make this accessibility design. So they are now saying that the solution to make sure that this thing that this thing is done, that is the accessibility design is done to the benefit of the people, and it also reduce the financial burden on businesses, the solution will be, I feel like government coming in is more suited in. If government subsidizes this modification, that would be a solution to make sure that this thing is done, and businesses also, like, it reduces burden, the financial burden on businesses. So eliminating, you cannot eliminate, because everybody knows how the world is moving towards how accessibility of disabled people, or accessibility of enterprises or road or public spaces, even houses too. When you're doing your house, you should put accessibility in mind. Um, Focusing exclusively on public infrastructure, I don't feel the solution. The solution, because since it's something that benefits everybody, the solution will be on government subsidies. That is why I picked this. Government subsidy, we all know what government subsidy is. Even if you don't know what subsidy is, subsidize, reduce. That is government reducing, coming in to reduce the cost. The statistic about increased transit leadership are particularly compelling and suggest that accessibility has measurable economic benefits. Public transit is preferable over private vehicle. It wasn't stated, because what they are saying here is the statistic about the increased ridership, that is increased ridership was mentioned here, is in that place where they talked about Toronto's this thing. So they are now saying that this statistic, this is an inferential question. It suggests that seniors requires more accessible facility, because they were the one that their number increased. So I just feel like this is the best option. I don't feel like this is suited. The Toronto's approach should be naturally implemented. It didn't fit in what was being talked about. Even if it was going to be naturally adopted, like, because they saw increase, but that is not what is more fitted in this passage. This is the one that fits in, because this is the implication. This is what I can infer from these statistics. What is missing from the discussion? However, we have talked about this, but I will just say, since we are reviewing everything, what is missing from the discussion, however, is the voice of those who actually use accessibility feature daily, because we did not hear the opinions of people. We only heard everybody's different people's perspective, business owner, we heard from urban planner, we heard from transit advocates, but then we did not hear from the users themselves. And you know that, like I said, in most passages, they would always talk about maybe when the last one we did last Sunday was the patient talk too. So here we didn't hear the experiences of those people, the users. They said their experience would provide valuable insight into which modifications would be most, of course, beneficial is what fits in. Expensive doesn't. Which modification will be most beneficial to them, to the users actually, and should be prioritized when budgets are limited. So they choose the one that are beneficial, and then when the budgets are limited, they will focus on doing those ones that benefit the users. And this is how I picked all my answers. Did anybody disagree with any? The last part sometimes is a challenge to me to go, like, Helen Ajayi, what is the challenge, please? Like, can you like explain like what your challenge is before I submit? And before I submit, so do anybody disagree with any of the option I pick before I submit? If there's anyone you people disagree with, you can tell me, so that we can change it before I submit. TikTok people, do you disagree with my options before I submit? And like I said, you see, why we did this, you use this method today is for you to see that you can have time, like up to 4 minutes. This is a 13 minutes question. I still have 4 minutes. And like I tell people in my exam, I had time to review my questions. I had time, even for writing. I had 6 minutes left after my writing. I went out to drink water. I came back. I still had the time counting down. So that's what practice does for you. If you keep practicing these strategies, you may not know it, but if you practice over and over again, continue practice, you will get used to it, and then you would know. There's somebody that actually, one person that the person that made me start this TikTok life actually, I posted her result last week, and she had a very impressive result. She had 12 in listening, she had was 12 in writing, I think, 11 in speaking, and 9 in reading. So, and her friend had 12 in reading. So I think 12 or 11 in reading. They were, she was one that I also recommended her friend. So you can practice and practice and practice these strategies. Yes, I take time to explain, but when you practice it over and over again, because if you, the first day we started this class, I didn't record it because I didn't do it on YouTube. But that day she was the one that did most of the, because we did it on Teams. So I brought her up. I told her, okay, do these questions for us. She said, oh, you always say, and she was doing it using this same method, and that's what she always do. So this you can actually do, practice and practice and practice until it becomes part of you, and you always have time left to go over what you have done. I'll go ahead and submit. Like I said, I don't have too much time to waste to be here today. I want to sleep. I work too much this week. Oh, number 9. We are the third one. Let's see. That government subsidy. I think that's the one. Oh, okay. I think has more economic measure. That's going on in the subsidy. Okay. Has measurable economic. This directly leads to a point that increased ridership has showed economic participation from previously excluded group. Oh, okay. Let me see why. Why seniors were mentioned. The study doesn't specifically suggest that they require. Oh, they didn't require, but they increased. Okay, yeah. So I see why I failed it, but failing one here is still not, because this is the part where most people fail almost everything. Because, like I said, part one and part two should be easy, but it pains me so much that people says they have problem with part two. So I will go ahead. I don't know, you guys. I want to do self-pip listening. Somebody actually begged me to do self-pip listening today. Which site is this? It's celpip.com. That's the site I keep recommending to people that my people used to practice. You can DM me. It's not free, it's paid. You can DM me for their discount code, though. They have 15% discount if you want to have access to all their questions. Like, they have questions, they have mock tests. They have 15 mock tests. Sorry, I didn't touch the mock quest mock test. So they have 50 mock exams, you see, and they have practice questions like over 4,000 practice questions. Actually, they always like shuffle it every now and then. So I'll go ahead and do self-pip listening. For the self-pip listening, please, which part should I start with, or you want everything? I was actually making a video on self-pip listening this morning, but I've not completed it. I'm going to be releasing it probably by tonight. I will try and finish it. And then I was stating, because one thing I've noticed, and I've actually noticed that a lot of people are struggling with self-pip listening too. One thing I've noticed is that,
Hi there. I was wondering if you could help me with something.
yes, are you hearing this play as I'm playing?
I signed up for a membership here about a week ago,
Yes, I
and
don't know
I'm
if you
looking to
guys will
start
be hearing
attending
it when I
classes.
play it.
Of course. Welcome
Can,
to the studio. I'm one of the instructors here, and I also
can you hear it play?
handle registrations. What kind of class are you interested in?
Sorry, can I get a response? Can you hear the?
Well, I'm completely new to
Can you hear
yoga,
this thing
so
play?
I'd need something for beginners.
Uh-uh.
I've also got a bit of a
Okay,
stiff lower
then I will
back.
start it
So,
from the beginning.
hi
You
there.
people
I
don't
was
mind.
wondering if you could help.
Uh, Helen, do you people want us to start it from the beginning? Now, Helen, can you tell us like the part of self-pip listening you want us to start with? From the video I was making, I was stating like the things to listen out for. For instance, this is a this part one is daily problem. You're listening to daily problem. You should know. And also another thing I will also point out, if you have this self-test script now, there's a study guide here that you can check, or this their listening course. It shows you what you are supposed to be listening for in every part. If you go to part one now, it will tell you what you're supposed to be listening for. although in my video, like I kind of highlighted this thing, it's not so much because you are listening to problem. So the first one, you know that when you are listening, pay attention to the problem. You see, yeah, you when you're listening to the audio, pay attention to the problem. Make sure that you are listening to, because they will always state out the problem when the audio starts. They will say hi, hi. The person will say, I'm calling to say so, so, or they may not even outrightly say, oh, I'm calling to say so, so. They will say, oh, did you get, or they will just, but indirectly, they will state what the problem is, and then they will start like saying details of the problem. When they start saying details, make sure that you are paying attention when they ask about a particular thing, or call a number, or say something specific. Those things are the things you're supposed to be listening out for. I know the first part of self-pip listening is actually easy, and although I don't know, let me not generalize, but it's easy. But as the audio, as the listening audio progresses, you would it becomes longer, and then sometimes your attention span may not even last. You may see yourself trying to derail. Always call yourself back so you know what exactly you are listening for. You are listening out, oh, problem. You know that, oh, for part one, you are, since it's a problem solving is solution, you must I be able to listen and get and know what the problem is from the audio. You must be able to listen and know what the solution that are provided. For instance, they always like give different solutions, but make sure that you know you should listen to the different solutions. And the person that has that problem most of the time will always ask or talk about one of the solutions that was provided, but most of the time they don't pick that one that was mostly talked about. They will now make ultimate decision. They may say, oh, this particular solution is this, but or instead. So make sure that you don't fall into a trap when you see that, oh, this person that has this problem, that they are that, oh, maybe because you see that, oh, they're already talking about one of the solutions that the person provided for them, you think that is the one that they are choosing. No. So most of the time after they talked about it, they may acknowledge it, and then they will say it, but, or they will say instead or something, and then they will now quickly state the one they are going for, and then the audio will continue to progress. So make sure you are knowing the exact solution that will out of the different solution provided that they chose. And then, like any details, like when they are talking, any specific detail, number, name of thing, name of place that was mentioned, make sure you are paying attention to it. Why I'm showing this part is that many people do not know that this part exists in Celpip. So you see how you can go ahead and read all of these things. Go to the, I think it's also accessible to, I don't know if it's accessible to people with free one yet, but you can check. You read their course, it's easy. And if you check this course, I don't know if they have taken it out. When I used it when I wrote my exam, there was a way I always like they connected it to the videos to official Celpip site that takes you to their listening video too. So, well, like I said, you are listening to the problem, you are listening to the solution, you are listening to particular detail, and you are listening to the one that was chosen, and emotions and attitude. Because sometimes they may say, some customer might be, they may recommend something to somebody and that person will be reluctant. They will ask you, what was the customer's attitude to the solution provided? Of course, the customer would not say, oh, I don't like it, or they may not outrightly say, oh, I'm reluctant or something. But from their behavior, they may say something like, maybe. So from their attitude in the tone of their voice, so also be listening to emotions and to the tone when you are listening, you are doing self-people listening. That would help you pick the right answer. So put all this in mind. This particular one, listening to emotions and tone, applies to a different part of the listening, both part one, part two, part three, and also it applies. And also like listening to details, all these details like number, keywords. How is it marked? Okay, I'm coming. So numbers and keywords. So it applies to every part of self-people listening. Make sure you are listening to important details. For conversation, like I in my exam, I know I forgot which particular part that one is. A lady went to do her hair in the salon, and then they recommended different and she wants to cut her hair, different style for her, and then she picked one based on the recommendation of the store attendant. I don't know, the stylist. But then after the whole this thing, from her tone, you can see that she didn't like it. And they asked me a question on that attitude. Like, oh, did the person like they didn't say she didn't like it, but from her tone, you could hear that she didn't like the outcome of the hair. So they asked question based on attitude. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and play this audio. And like I said, for different people, you take notes. For me, I take note actually, but for other people, they don't take notes. I know two people that didn't take note and they passed. One had 10. In fact, two of them had one had 11, one had 10. So they didn't take note. So what this means is that when you are practicing, practice to know what works for you. That I said take note, or me I'm taking note, doesn't mean you may not be able to divide your attention. When you are writing notes, you may be because writing notes requires a key strategy, because I know that I'm not writing everything. Is when they mention those things I know that I need that I'm noting down. It's not everything that I said that I'm going to be writing. So let's play. Sorry, thank you. I'm trying to read comment. The last part is okay. No. Please start from the beginning. Okay, okay. I'm going to start from
Hi
this.
there. I was wondering if you could help me with something. I signed up for a membership here about a week ago, and I'm looking to start attending classes.
Of course. Welcome to the studio. I'm one of the instructors here, and I also handle registrations. What kind of class are you interested in?
Well, I'm completely new to yoga, so I'd need something for beginners. I've also got a bit of a stiff lower back, so nothing too intense, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I'd recommend our Gentle Flow class. It's perfect for beginners, and we focus a lot on stretching and flexibility, which would really help with your back. It runs every Tuesday evening at 7.
That sounds ideal, actually. How many people are usually in the class?
We cap it at 15 to make sure everyone gets individual attention. Right now, there are about 4 spots left, so you'd want to register soon.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely do that. Do I need to bring my own mat, or do you provide them?
We do have mats you can borrow, but most members prefer their own. There's a shop next door that sells them for around $30.
So this particular audio has finished playing, and you can see what I don't know. TikTok people won't be able to see me, but YouTube people can see me. What I wrote, I didn't write everything that was said. For the man, I know he was asking about class. I put down class, and the woman is the instructor here. She said she mentioned it in the other that she's the instructor and she's also in charge of the registration. So I wrote instruct and then I wrote regis. That's registrating. And then in my audio, but then like even if for this part you can easily pay attention and be able to grab whole lot of things that was said. So you can see in my notes I just write beginner. I know like he's interested in beginner class. I wrote for the man I only wrote four things about the okay, five things about the man from everything that was said. I wrote class, I wrote beginner, I wrote stiff lower back, and then I wrote many. That's when he asked how many are they in the class. And then I wrote math. I put question mark. He was asking about the math. And then for the woman, I know she's the one that provided the solution, that is problem solving. She's the one providing it. That is called it problem solving. Doesn't mean that it has to be problem. The man was, it can be a question and then somebody is providing answers. So the person with providing answers most time have more things to provide, and you have to write more things. And that's where like when the person providing solution is talking, I kind of pay attention to make sure I'm grabbing everything she's saying, because the man may ask and then he shut up, and the woman will start talking. So this is why I was saying know the strategy, have a strategy in listening. When the man asks, immediately you know that the woman will start giving details about that thing the man asked. pay attention and start picking the right keyword when the woman is talking, whether you are writing or you are not. So for the woman now, when the woman man mentioned that he wants he's new, that he wants he's a beginner, the woman recommended gentle flow. That is beginner friendly. Immediately, that's the only thing I wrote. I wrote after I wrote instructor. She's the one in charge of registration. I wrote gentle flow where I wrote that beginner. So I wrote it in the woman's side, gentle flow. That's what she recommended. And I also wrote stretching and flexibility because he mentioned stiff lower back, and that's why he recommended that gentle flow. So I wrote stretching and the flexibility. I didn't write it in full. I just wrote FLS. So I know, but I know my jottings. I know how I abbreviate. And that is why writing no, note taking, it requires strategy too. But if you can't, if you can pay attention without writing no, do that. So, and when he was not saying, oh, Tuesday at 7, when she asked about the time, he said Tuesday at 7, and then he asked about how many in class. The woman said, you see how long this video finished playing, but because of my notes, I'm able to still remember everything. The woman said they place a cap of 15. That means 15 is the maximum they can take. But the way he said it is they cap it at 15. I don't know if you guys heard the audio when she said that cap at 15. They try to cap it at 15. That means maximum is 15 in the class so that everybody can get attention. She mentioned it. And then she said currently they have 4 spots left. And then the woman now asked where I put math. When the man asked if they have math or they can, I put math and I put question mark under the man. And then the woman said math is provided, but you can borrow. They also sell in the shop close by. I didn't write. I now wrote math provided, and I wrote shop $30. He mentioned that much. It was that's the only thing I wrote for the man and the woman. So let's go straight to you see how you so when you are listening, know the strategy to listen and the kind of things you are listening to and where your attention is needed. When the
Question
person
1. Why has the man come to the yoga studio?
when the person providing the attention talks to purchase equipment, to sign up for user membership, to find an appropriate class to join, to get treatment. I think this is the answer. Do everybody agree? Which one did you people pick? You two people. Answer now. You TikTok people, which one did you people pick? You would not hear the audio and the listening. Where did the man? Me, I don't know if he's here to sign, but I know I wrote class. When the audio started, I picked this one. When the audio started, I wrote class. Well, because he has not really said if he wanted to join, to sign up. He just came to inquire about the class. Okay, TikTok said C. Any other person agree with us? Okay, YouTube also agree with us. C. So let's submit. Let's go next.
Question 2. How many openings remain in the gentle flow class?
How many opening remains for the gentle flow? I already explained this when I was doing it. How many? 15? Can you guys speak? Okay, TikTok people, yeah, you guys got it for the first one. Yeah, Lord. Yeah. Yeah. Elena Jai, yes. Because he mentioned it, we have 4 left.
Hi again. I'm here for
Okay.
the Gentle Flow class tonight. I registered online yesterday, so I should be all set.
Oh, welcome back. I'm glad you're here, but I should let you know about a change. We're having some renovations done in the main studio this week, so the class has been moved to a smaller room down the hall.
Okay, that's not a big deal, right? I mean, it's just a different room.
Well, the thing is, the smaller room only fits 8 people. We had to reduce the class size, and unfortunately, the system didn't update properly when you registered. The class is actually full tonight.
You're kidding. I was really counting on getting started this week. I even bought a mat from that shop you recommended. This is kind of frustrating.
I completely understand, and I'm really sorry about the confusion. It's not the experience we want for new members. I can put you on the wait list, though. Sometimes people cancel at the last minute, even just 10 or 15 minutes before class starts.
I guess that's my only option at this point. How many people are ahead of me on the wait list?
Actually, you'd be first, so there's a decent chance you'll get in.
I will not talk too much. Let's go straight to the answer, to the questions. Why is it not playing?
Question 3. What is the main issue discussed in this part of the conversation?
So I'll wait for you guys to pick an answer. D. Okay. Yeah. This is easy.
Question 4. How does the man feel about the situations?
I'm waiting for you guys to. Time is up. Or pick B. Okay, somebody. Okay, yeah, you guys got it correctly. Because you can see he didn't say, like, you can see that he's frustrated. Okay, he said, like, he's frustrated that he wanted to join, like, he was disappointed. You can see the disappointment because he was really, really ready. He has bought the mats and things didn't go as planned. This is an attitude question. But sometimes it's not
Question
even.
5. What is true about the woman?
What is true about the woman? I think this is an inferential question. What do you guys pick? I pick C. Time is almost up. I pick C. Yeah.
Hey, I've got some good news. I just got a cancellation. One of the regulars called about 3 minutes ago to say she can't make it tonight.
Oh, really? That's such a relief. I was sitting over there trying not to get my hopes up.
I can imagine. Anyway, you're all set. The class starts in about 20 minutes, so you have plenty of time to get settled. The room is the second door on the left, past the water fountain.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You know, I was honestly thinking about asking for a refund on the membership earlier. I'm glad I didn't.
I'm glad too. And just so you know, the renovations should be finished by next Thursday. After that, we'll be back in the main studio with the full 15 spots.
That's great to hear. Oh, one more thing. A friend of mine has been asking about yoga classes too. She's interested in something a bit more advanced, though. Does the studio offer anything like that?
Definitely. We have a power yoga class on Saturday mornings at 9. It's pretty challenging. Tell her to check our website for details.
Will do. Thanks again for everything. You've been really helpful.
My pleasure. Enjoy the class tonight.
So before I go next to the question, you can see that the takeaway in this is that the man just asked and then the woman start providing details. So you know that whenever the person providing answers or solution is talking, your attention should be up. So the man said, I've asked about the friend and she start talking. The woman, when she started talking about when the class is coming back
Question
online.
6. Where is tonight's class being held?
I will allow you guys to pick this one. Yeah, this was mentioned.
Question 7. What is true about the man?
All you guys agree? I picked this because he said he was considering canceling and asking for a refund, when the woman came to tell him that somebody canceled the class. So yeah,
Question 8. What will most likely happen next?
This is a prediction question. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you guys got it correct. So the man will head over for his first class. For the website, it's his friend that will choose that will go to the website and check. That's why the woman asked him to do. Of course, he's not going to cancel again because he's happy to be joining the class. So yeah. The woman is not going to call anybody because it's only one person that canceled. So yeah. So this is how you do part 1. So part 2, let's see how fast we can do this. And I want to do one more Celpip reading before we call it a day. So let's go to, I'm doing this Celpip listening just for the person that requested for it. Oh, so for part 2 too, because like I said, knowing what you are listening out for helps you prepare your mind to know what you know that part 2 is also involving two people. So you know you'll be hearing a man and a woman's voice, two people's voice, definitely a man and a woman's voice, two colleagues. Okay, they already said it, two colleagues. That means it will be something that the conversation will be in the office. It might be during break, it might not be about work, they may just be talking about life and all. I remember in my exam, I had one of my reading, I think the one between 3 people, done during lunch break, but they were talking about riding bicycle, and the one woman was asking for the son, because he was getting idea because those two other people all ride bike, so she was asking for their experiences and the things to buy for the son.
Hey, have you heard about that new gym on Elm Street? Fit Zone, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah, I actually walked past it last week. It looked pretty nice. Why? Are you thinking of joining?
Well, they're running a buddy membership promotion. If 2 people sign up together, it's only $45 a month each instead of the regular $70. I was wondering if you'd be interested.
That's actually really tempting. I've been paying $65 a month at PureFit on Queen Street, and honestly, I'm not thrilled with it. The equipment is outdated, and it gets so crowded after 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that. I canceled mine at Good Life about 6 months ago because I just wasn't going enough. But I've been wanting to get back into a routine, you know?
I totally get that. So, what does the FitZone membership include? Did you look into it?
I checked their website last night. The buddy plan includes the weight room, cardio equipment, and an indoor pool. Plus, you get 2 free group classes a week. They have yoga, spinning, and even kickboxing.
An indoor pool? That's a big plus. I used to swim competitively in university. Does it include towel service, or is that extra?
Towel service is an add-on, like $5 a month. But honestly, I just bring my own.
Fair enough. So, when does this promotion end? I wouldn't want to miss it.
It expires this Friday, November 10th. So we'd need to sign up before then. I was thinking we could stop by after work on Wednesday. The gym's only about a 10-minute walk from the office.
Wednesday works for me. I usually have my team meeting until 4:30, but I'm free after that. We could grab a coffee on the way.
Sounds like a plan. Oh, and I should mention, there's a 12-month commitment for the buddy rate. If either of us cancels early, it goes back to the regular price for the other person.
That's good to know. I mean, I'm pretty committed, so that shouldn't be a problem. And $45 a month is such a good deal compared to what I'm paying now.
Exactly. And maybe having a gym buddy will keep us both accountable, right?
For sure. All right, Wednesday it is. I'll set a reminder.
Perfect. I'll send you the link to their website so you can look it over before we go.
So this is a much longer audio, and like you said, if you were paying attention to the audio, you see me when I start writing more is when they mention important things like this one, when he said, is there towel service? I know the man is going to mention a key detail. He said, yes, there is conveyance service at $5. Also, he said, is there like there is a catch where he said something about, but let me tell you some. I forgot the exact word he used. He wanted to add like a caution, like, oh, that there is a 12-month commitment, that if you don't, so when somebody says something that is that you know that they are going to say something, I mean, give an important detail, you pay attention and make sure that you're writing those details down. When he said, but there is a catch, there must be a 12-month commitment. So let's
Question
go.
1. What is the main purpose of this conversation?
The man is recommending his favorite fitness center to the woman. The colleagues are comparing different gym membership they have visited. The colleagues are deciding whether to register for a gym deal together. The woman is asking for advice on switching fitness facilities. I think somebody said, Joyous, did you say A right now? Or this was the last question? Okay, B, yeah. No, not B. The answer is C, I think. Do you guys agree with me? I'm the only one. I'm alone. If you guys say B, I will choose what you guys say about. I'm thinking C, because they are comparing different gyms they have visited. No, they were not. Like the overall, this thing was talking about the. Let's see. Okay.
Question 2. What is one reason the woman is unhappy with her current gym?
I picked this one. Which one is, who says confusing? This one is confusing because she mentioned list of things that was wrong with her gym. But the first thing she said, like the machine was that one of the things she said that was mentioned here is that the machine is outdated. I actually wrote outdated down when she talked about it. I wrote outdated. I couldn't write the other things. But I know like she talked about the price, but she didn't have issue with the price. The only frustration she had was that the problem that was wrong with the things there, that the machines were outdated. And she didn't really say if it was, this wasn't really like a problem to her.
Question 3. What condition applies to the discounted membership rate?
Both members must register before November 10, yeah? Both members must keep their membership active for, This is this one. Although this is a trap too. I don't know. I was thinking like, which one are people saying A? Is it me that didn't listen to the question? Although I'm not supposed to do this.
Question 3. What condition applies to the discounted membership rate?
This is the answer. Why are people saying A? I thought I'm the one that didn't hear the question well. What? Yeah. 12 year, they said, where he said, but I must warn you, there is a catch. You know, I told you, when the man said something like that, I paid attention to make sure I caught that catch. He said that both of them must keep their 12, I wrote it down, 12-month membership. If not, if one person cancels, the other person will return to the regular, what's it called? To the regular pricing. So this is it.
Question 4. What can be inferred about the man's recent exercise habits?
He said it in the audio. He prefers swimming. He has attended fitness classes. So no, he's likely he has no. He has not been working out at a gym recently. Yeah, because it was mentioned. He said 6 months ago That his last membership was 6 months ago. I wrote it down 6 months ago, but so he wants to register again. So that means this is an inferential question. He just mentioned that his last gym this thing was when they were talking about the bad side of the other place. He said he had to cancel his membership 6 months ago, meaning that he has not been exercising at a gym recently. So this is an inferential question based on what was said. I will go to the next one.
Question 5. What will the man most likely do before Wednesday?
This was said in the audio too. He didn't say he doesn't have a membership currently right now, so nothing to cancel. He's not going to reserve a spot, no, because he's not even a member yet. Visit, they said they will visit on Wednesday, so no. He said he told the woman, he said it in the it was said in that he was going to send the website so that the woman can take a look. So this will happen before Wednesday. This was the last thing that was said in the audio actually. Helen, are you following us along? You're not. What did you? Are you following us along? So this is how you listen to this one. Let's go to. So whenever like you see an indication, somebody says something, and you know that the other person is going to give information about something, or him himself is trying to give out an information about. I'm sorry. He's trying to give out an information. That's when you need to pay proper attention, whether you are writing or not. Why is this thing not going? Ah, okay. Also, always make sure you read this thing because it prepares you to know the kind of scenario you are walking into or you're going to be listening their discussion on. You will hear a conversation between a man and a woman. Is this part 3? This is part 3, right? And a woman at a mobile phone store. I need a paper.
Hi there. I'm looking to switch my phone plan. I've been with my current provider for 3 years, and the coverage isn't great.
Welcome to Connect Plus. I'd be happy to help. What are you looking for?
I mainly need reliable data. I work remotely, and I'm often on video calls away from Wi-Fi. Right now, I'm paying $70 a month for only 8 gigabytes.
That does sound like you're overpaying. We have 3 plans. The Essential is $45 a month with 5 gigabytes and unlimited calling within Canada.
5 gigabytes wouldn't be enough for me. What else do you have?
The Premium plan is $65 a month. You get 15 gigabytes, unlimited calling to Canada and the US, and free voicemail. Then there's the Ultimate at $85 with 25 gigabytes, international calling to over 30 countries, and 100 gigabytes of cloud storage.
I have family in the UK, so international calling is tempting, but I mostly call them through apps. I think the premium should cover my needs.
Smart choice. We're running a spring promotion. If you sign up before April 15th, you get 20% off for the first 6 months. That brings it down to $52.
That's great. Today's April 3rd, so I've got time. Do I need to sign a contract?
Yes, the promotion requires a 2-year contract. Month to month is $10 more and doesn't qualify for the discount. There's also an early termination fee of $150.
That's fine. I don't plan on switching again. Can I keep my current phone?
Absolutely, as long as it's unlocked. We also have a trade-in program. Depending on model and condition, you could get up to $200 in credit toward a new device.
That's not bad. My battery's been draining quickly lately. I'll go with the premium plan today and bring my phone in tomorrow for the trade-in assessment.
Perfect. Just bring a government-issued ID and your most recent bill from your current provider so we can transfer your number.
I have my driver's license on me, but I'll need to find that bill at home. Thanks so much for your help.
So let's go straight into this
Question 1.
question.
How much is the man currently spending on his phone service?
So what do you guys pick? Okay, Ajoke. What do you guys pick? Pick. We have it 10 minutes more. You're supposed to be picking by now. Yeah.
Question 2. Why does the man decide against the ultimate plan?
What do you guys pick in this one? He has no need for cross storage. I think this too, because he said he mentioned this, but this.
Question 3. What is required to receive the promotional pricing?
Um, this was mentioned. Although this is, I think it is. If it be, I know this was mentioned, but they mentioned something about like 2-year contracts or an early termination fee. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. You people should not go with. Let's see. If you don't agree with me, say I will pick whatever you people pick. Okay, we have 3 A's. Me 4 A's on TikTok. We have 1 A on YouTube. Okay. I think that our time is up.
Question
Sorry.
4. What can be inferred about the man's current phone?
They're not supposed video for the no. It's not likely working as well as it should. They purchased it within the last no. B. Yeah, this is an inferential question. Because he said it's I think he said his battery or something, or is it glitchy? But he should have mentioned that something is not working properly. When the woman mentioned trading.
Question 5. What does the woman recommend the man consider doing with his phone?
Having it unlocked at replacing another device. Changing it for credit towards a new device. Keeping it. I think it's C. When he mentioned that he will get she recommended that there's a trading that he's going to get $200 for credit. I don't know. But this is what I would pick based on my note and based on what I heard. And like I said, there are some places that I missed that important details, but I didn't let that stop me. Like when they were talking about that April, the time I missed out an important detail that has to talk about money. I know, like I was supposed to listen to that. But immediately I told myself, move on. So when you are listening and you didn't catch a particular thing, move on.
Question 6.
Don't dwell
What
on
will
it.
the man most likely do when he returns to the store?
Ew. Is he A or C? Provide his ID card, previous provider's bill. A or C, or he's going to sign the. Although this is what he's going for, but most likely do. Have his current phone evaluated for trading. He didn't say he was going for the trading. Is it B or C? Me, I was even tilting towards A or C, but it's actually a confusing question. Okay, let's see. Abdulkarim, you said B, but he didn't really say he was going for the trading. Okay, B. Okay, I will go with majority of the case. Okay, we have two B. One B on TikTok, one B on this thing. I'm going with C. So I will go with whatever majority says. I'll go with B. But for me, because he said he was, I don't know. So I'm going to submit. Time is up. You guys, I went with C, but okay, 2C now. Ha. What are you saying here? Two, I went to because time is up already because before you go, but this is the one I went. I'm going. I would have gone with, but I'm going with what majority picked before the time went off. So I'll go with. I'll pick this. Well, not me. I will pick this. Let's submit and see. Ah, they're correct. You guys, you did it. You see, you guys did it. Oh, we see we would have failed. And they actually got it like that place. Let me read the question again because it was actually a confusing question for me. B, his current phone evaluated for a trading. Oh, I missed that. I will bring my phone tomorrow in for trading assessment. Oh, he says, okay, I missed out this information. I didn't catch when he said it. I said that I didn't catch it when he said it. So yeah, good job, you guys. Like 5/6. I would have had 5/6 and you guys 6/6, but we are doing great. You see, when you feel like 111, it wouldn't be like a bad decision, but don't feel 111 in everything. Some you should get everything. So let's go to the third one. It's getting complicated here. I don't even know if I should write notes. I want to try not writing notes, but I'll train myself to be writing notes because that's the standard. So I shouldn't be doing not writing notes. I think when I'm doing personal practice, I'll actually do that not writing note and see how much I'm able to. So you will hear a news item. So here we all need to pay attention. It's going to be a long audio. You hear a news item about raccoons at a community pool.
A family of raccoons caused quite a stir at the Greenfield Community Pool in Thornbury, Ontario, last Tuesday evening. Pool manager Karen Whitfield arrived early Wednesday morning to find that at least 5 raccoons had gotten past the fence and spent the night swimming and leaving muddy prints all over the deck. Whitfield said she first noticed the mess when she spotted garbage scattered near the entrance gate. Upon closer inspection, she discovered a small gap beneath the north fence where the animals had apparently squeezed through. Had to be closed for 2 full days, while maintenance staff drained and cleaned water, costing the facility roughly $1,200. Local wildlife officer Tom Braxton visited the site and confirmed the animals were a mother raccoon and her 4 young. He explained that raccoons are naturally attracted to water, especially during hot summer months. They're intelligent creatures and surprisingly good swimmers, Braxton noted. Once they find a water source, they tend to come back. Whitfield admitted she was both frustrated and amused by the whole situation. "I've managed this pool for 15 years, and I've never seen anything like it," she said. The gap in the fence has since been repaired, and the pool reopened on Friday.
Oh, it's over. The raccoons entered the area through the gap in the fence. Sorry, you guys. under the main entrance gate, a gap in the deck, an opening under the north fence, a hole near the garbage bin. Which one did I speak? Yeah. You see, there is a trap here. They mentioned a gap in the fence in the audio. A gap in the fence means an opening under the, but they mentioned the north because I wrote it a gap in the opening, a gap in the north fence. But here they said a gap in the deck. You know, if you heard gap and you did not pay attention to the other one, you will miss it. But this is not fence, a gap in the north fence, which they said they have actually closed it now. They have mended it. The raccoons were drawn to the pool because they are for water when it's hot. This is it. It was mentioned during summer months. Do you guys agree? Sorry, let me open the other option. So that you go. Do you guys agree? Okay, let me read the other option. Are searching for food near the first. No, they are not searching for the food. They are enjoying being around people at night. No. Need to cool their young ones in summer. Ah, they says that they are intelligent creatures that they like to. I know I heard it, but that place they said a lot of things too fast. I didn't. I heard that they like to. They are attracted to water during the summer months. So I would pick this. Yeah. The raccoon incident permanent closure of the facility. No, I think it was 2 days closure. A visit from the pool manager, replacing the entire fence. No, they didn't say that. An expense of about $1,200. This was what was mentioned. Yeah, to clean the pool. Do you guys agree? Let me bring this up. Okay, it's not scrolling now. Yeah. So let's go to the next. We are supposed to answer this question before this time is over. Bastin warned that the raccoon would likely come back, become aggressive towards you, and try to visit the pool again. Yeah. When they discover a water source, they will likely come back. It was said in the audio. I want to finish before this audio. Karen Whitfield felt that most worried about the future incident, angry about the weapon, irritated by yet entertained by the event. Surprised? No. I don't know. This is what I pick. Most worried. I don't know. Is it A or C? Let's you guys pick. So, before we submit, our time is up. But I wanted to say something. When you are listening in this part, like I said, important keywords, like when they were mentioning gap in the where they came in from. I know gap in defense, those are important details. When they mention things like the time, morning, evening, Tuesday, I wrote every of those things down. When they mentioned the expense, I wrote $1,200 for cleaning the pool. I just wrote $1,200 cleaning. And I also wrote close to full day. So you see, those are important keyword that you need to pick. And also, for instance, when they mention name, they said so person. They may say the title of the person, the head of the so place. No, you don't need to listen to all those ones are fill up word. Immediately you heard the person's name, just pick one name from that person. Like now, Karen or Braston, you can just say Karen or Whitfield. So you know that, oh, because now you see how they said Braston won that, so that you know who is who. All those titles that is attached to the person's name, don't pay attention to it. Just quickly note, put it in your head or write it down. Karen or the person's name, most likely, because this is an opinion, like listening to like people's opinion, like not viewpoint yet, but is it viewpoint? No. Okay, yeah, news item, but people's name also in viewpoint, they mention people's name. So try to note. Let's see the options for 5 again. Time has failed. You would have picked it, but yeah, I'm opening it up. I don't know. My mind is telling me A, but when she says she's frustrated, but like I don't know this entertained by the event, but I don't know, it's A or C. So I just went with C because other people agreed. So, like I said, in this part, let me continue. You not just know for each part of self people listening, know what you are listening for. Make sure that, oh, name. So when they start talking, you know that, oh, okay, well, this is what this man say. You catch paraphrasing like this one now. They didn't, an opening under it, they didn't use the same exact word. Or when they said when it's hot, they only mentioned that they are attracted to water source during summer months, which is they instantly look for water when it's hot. So it's the same thing. And he said something like, oh, they would come back when they discover the water source. They will come back. I remember that he said they will come back. So we try to visit the pool again. I don't know if this is should be A. Ajoke said A. And now I'm thinking about it that it should be A. But we already picked C. Now I'm thinking about it, I think it should be A. Because she was just frustrated and all. But they didn't say she was entertained. Joyful says C. Okay. Because time has gone. This is what I picked. I'll leave it at that. But kind of. So let's submit. Yay, we got it. Pretty Carol and Ajoke, we got it. We got it. So let's see. She admitted she was frustrated. I said it, amused. Yeah, because I missed this particular word. I know there's a word that followed, but I forgot which particular this thing. She said she mentioned frustrated and amused, but I didn't catch this amused. I know and another thing, but I met that's why like I was contemplating. Because that wasn't her stated reaction. Yeah. Okay. And amused. Ajoke, your ear must be very sharp. Oh. Your type is the one that had 12 in listening. Somebody had 12 in listening, so or more. Some, nay, your own is to be shouting almost since we started. More, you have been shouting more. Anyways, like it's a good practice, anyways. So you see how you know like what you are listening out for. Ellen, like when you're practicing, try to like tell yourself, okay, this is what I'm listening out for in this part of self-people listening. When they start saying important information, those important information are important for you to note down and put it on your head. I think this will be the next one, right? I have only a few days. When is your exam? When exactly is your exam? Nay. I think this is the next one. Abby? Let me see. Okay, yeah. 5 is the next one. We are I told myself I won't be here for 2 hours. I'm almost here for 2 hours. I feel better than I felt this morning doing this. Hey, Wednesday, don't worry, you got it. Have you been practicing? Come back with testimonial. Most people that have attended this thing, they came back with testimony. In real test, this part includes a video, not just audio. So take note. So come back with testimony. Most people that they come back and tell me good news, at least they pass, they get the score they are looking for. You will hear a discussion among 3 colleagues. They are members of a facility committee meeting to discuss changes to the company's parking lot. So you know what you'll be listening about. Always read though. I'll always say it. You have time to read it. 1 minute, I guess.
Hey, thanks for coming in early. So, management approved the budget for redesigning the parking lot. They want our recommendations by end of month.
Finally, that lot's been a mess since I started. Potholes everywhere, barely any lines left. Honestly, it's an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, I'm glad they're doing something. So, what are we working with budget-wise?
$75,000. That covers repaving, repainting lines, and adding new features. The big question is what those features should be.
I think the priority is adding more spots. We've got about 80 right now, and over 100 employees drive. People park on the grass, which doesn't exactly look professional.
I hear you, but I'd love to add electric vehicle charging stations. More people are switching to EVs, and it'd show the company's committed to sustainability.
Sounds nice in theory, but chargers aren't cheap. Maybe $5,000 per station? Install 4, and that's 20,000 gone before we even repave.
True, but the city has a green infrastructure grant covering up to 40% of EV charging costs. That'd bring it down quite a bit. Oh, that's worth looking into. Even 2 stations would be a great start. We don't have to go all in right away.
Fair enough. But can we talk about lighting? The back section's pitch black after 5 o'clock. People on my team don't feel safe walking to their cars in winter.
That came up in the employee survey too. LED lights along the back row would cost around $3,000. That's a drop in the bucket. Agreed. Safety's non-negotiable. And LEDs are energy efficient, so that checks my box too.
So we're all on the same page. Repaving, new lines, better lighting, and at least a couple of EV chargers?
I think so. B, could you get a quote from that paving company on Elgin Street? C, would you look into the city grant application? I'll pull together the survey results and we can meet Thursday to finalize.
Thursday works for me. Morning or afternoon?
Let's say 10 o'clock. That gives us a few days to gather everything.
Sounds like a plan. Let's nail this. It'd be great to finally have a parking lot we're not embarrassed about.
So I wanted to say something before we quickly do. Like I said, when you're listening, also listen for idioms. When he said, let's nail this, or slangs, because this is a conversation and people throw in slang during conversation. But if you don't understand what slang means, just listen to the surrounding things around it before it will help you understand what is being discussed. So let's go so we don't forget the things we listen to. What is the main purpose of this meeting? It was said what we read, to approve the budget from management. No. To decide what improvement to suggest for a facility, to respond to safety complaints from employees, to finalize contract with the paving company. No. What do you guys agree? Time is going. We have 3 minutes or 4 minutes for this question. I already know my answer. Well, yeah, somebody said B. Okay, 2 people said B. I have noted them down. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the answer. Then, how many employees currently drive to work? This is over 100 because they mentioned that currently they have 80 sports, but they have over 100 driving to work and some are parking on the grass. How would each EV charging station, how much would each EV charging station cost before any discount apply? They mentioned is 5,000 or something. I think I wrote it down. Where he mentioned that 20,000 for 4 or something. 5,000, I wrote it down. Do you guys agree? I'm just picking. Okay, see, yeah. Okay, because I want us to finish before time. We have lots of questions. Let's go. What is the attitude of the person who proposes the EV chargers? We know the person who proposed it, right? That's the third speaker. Insistent of all 4 stations on dismissive of the cause concern raised by the. You see how I said they asked question on attitude, critical of the company's current environmental policy now. Opening to start with smaller numbers. Yeah, this is it. He mentioned it that 2 station is fine, that they don't need to go all in first. She said it in the listing when they talked about the price. The other person mentioned that there was a grant, the first speaker, after the other person was talking about price. So he was like, okay, open to more station. What can be inferred about how employees feel about the package? Okay, yeah. Okay, you people are agreeing with me, I thought. Feels about the parking lot. They are largely satisfied with the number of spots. No, they have expressed concern through formal feedback. They prefer to park on the grass. No. They have requested for no. I think this was mentioned. We have 1 minute left. Though. What is the colleague asked to what is the colleague asked to contact the expect to do? Okay. To obtain an estimate for repaving work. I don't know. Let me continue. I'll go back to that. What does the hmm? Submit? No. What does the initial skeptical participant agree to the why does the employee survey show the company require at least two stations? A government subsidy could significantly lower the expense. Okay. The charges would eliminate the need. Okay, yeah. What does the speaker mean by calling the lighting cost a drop in the budget? A drop in the bucket means a small portion of the overall fund. Abi? Ajoka, which one did you say A? Jayos, which one did you say A? Critical, sorry. Let's now that time is up, we can actually like I wanted to finish picking the options. So did you people, I don't know where I lost you guys, but I was running towards making sure that I picked the right answer before the end of the audio, which I did, but number seven. Number seven, no, number seven is A. Why does skeptical? No, I don't think it's A. The one that I feel the one that everybody agreed for was lighting the back of the place that they said is pitch black. That was the one that the employees were calling for. Okay, the chargers will eliminate the need for better lighting. Number seven is D. Do people agree that number seven is D? Let's see. Me, I just feel like, although like when the first speaker mentioned that there is a subsidy, because the other person was saying after the person suggested the EV, the third speaker was actually, one thing about this part is that you sometimes you confuses who is saying what. So make sure you're not confusing them. And that's one thing that note taking helps you to avoid who is saying what. The person that proposed the EV is actually the third speaker. And the second speaker, that's the man said is not cheap, that is 5,000. But the first speaker now said that there is a government grant that will bring down that cost. When that first speaker said that, that was what made the man now agreed. Initially, he didn't agree because he knows it was going to be expensive. But when the first speaker mentioned that there is a government grant that will bring down the cost of the EV, he now agreed. And then before they now went next into talking about the backpacking, they said it's pitch black at night. See the Ajoke, you change it. Okay, yeah, see. That was when they now say, yeah, the majority of the employees are complaining about that it's pitch black at night. And they said when they now cut the price, it's 3,000. He said a drop in this one. I think we all agreed in this one that a drop in the bucket means a very small portion to the overall fund. So should we submit? Do we all agree? How can we differentiate the voices? That's when you need to pay attention, because immediately I start right. That's why I still take notes. Like I said, I try to still practice it, even though like some people can't take notes. And if you can't, don't, like I said. But if you pay attention, you will differentiate their voices. The first speaker was a woman, the second speaker was a man, and the third speaker was another woman. But the voices of the two women are different. So immediately you start listening, pay attention to differentiate their voices. So you know what, it will even help you in note taking. I know who you are taking the note under. I know that TikTok people can't see my note, but I'll show you two pictures. Oh, sorry, this is where my camera is. So you see, like I have A, B, C. I wrote man in the listen, I wrote A and I wrote C, but I know that the man is B. So you can see that when I'm writing it, I know I'm writing it under who said what. And you see that I was able to, but before I immediately I listen, I pay attention to the three voices. Immediately I know who the man, that's why I wrote man. I know that the other two are female. And then I try to differentiate their voices. So when they are talking, I don't even need to. But they said good thing is that in the exam, this particular part they said it before this audio started. has a video, has three people. Yeah, they sound different. Has three people. You will see it. You will see them when they're talking, so you know who is talking. So you will know them by you will see them on the screen that you know who is talking. You don't need to. It's not here. It's not like this that you don't see them talking. You will see them talking. You will see the three people, so you will know that you will know who exactly is talking and know their voices. But sometimes, especially if you are taking note, you may not need to look up to know who is talking. Like if you pay attention, you will know the differences in their voice. Their voices change, but it's still like almost the same thing. Like for instance, when I was writing my notes, I knew when this person was talking, I already know exactly. I leave that person, I go to the next person. If you pay attention, you will still differentiate that, oh, this the sound of their voices are just what you let you know. But in exam, you don't need to if you're looking at the screen, you can always see who is talking. There is a video showing that. So let's submit. Hopefully we score everything here. Okay, yeah, we did. Yeah. Their name will also apply. I forgot if their names appear from it. I did my exam since December last year, so I forgot. But I know that there is a video. Like there is, you see them talking. So I think this is the second to the last, right? So we are listening to the last. You guys, after this listening, tomorrow we'll do self-pick reading all through. Do you, except if there's when we start with self-pick reading because and then we'll see what happens. I will try to do for the whole four part of self-pick reading tomorrow. After this one, I'm going. I have a whole lot to do today. I didn't even know I would last 2 hours here from the way I was feeling in the morning. I actually wanted to cancel today's class, but thank God I didn't. Sorry, I didn't even know what are we listening to. Okay. You are going to hear a report. So for this particular one, you guys see how many paper I'm using. You can be asking for more. This is how you can just raise your hand. Immediately they will give you more paper. In an exam, they will give you more paper. You just do like this, they'll give you more paper. Let's do speaking tomorrow. Yay! You want me to come and speak. Hey, speaking. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I need to prepare all these things. I need to prepare. Even though today's class I was so unprepared for it. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday I worked overnight, then 8 hours again, and then I worked another 4 hours before I came. So I was exhausted. I didn't even want to do anything today. But because I was already committed. So you guys need to pass. So if not, I'll just be crying that all my effort is not yielding results.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today's report examines the growing debate over whether schools should replace traditional printed textbooks with digital alternatives. This issue has gained significant attention across Canada, particularly after the Ontario Ministry of Education launched a pilot program in September 2022 involving over 40 schools in the Greater Toronto Area. Sarah Mitchell, a curriculum coordinator at Lakeview Secondary School in Mississauga, is a strong advocate for digital textbooks. She points out that her school saved approximately 35% on annual textbook costs after switching to digital resources 2 years ago. According to Sarah, digital textbooks offer interactive features like embedded videos and real-time quizzes that keep students more engaged. She also notes that updates can be made instantly, so students always have access to the most current information. Furthermore, she highlights that carrying a single tablet instead of multiple heavy books has reduced complaints about back pain among younger students by nearly half. On the other hand, James Crawford, a grade 10 teacher at Riverside Academy in Calgary, has expressed serious concerns about the shift. James argues that prolonged screen time is already a major issue for young people, and adding digital textbooks to the mix only makes it worse. He references a 2023 study from the University of British Columbia that found students who read from printed materials scored 12% higher on reading comprehension tests compared to those using screens. James also worries about equity, pointing out that not every family can afford reliable internet access or devices at home. He believes this creates an unfair disadvantage for students in lower income households. However, James does acknowledge that digital textbooks have some clear advantages when it comes to accessibility features for students with learning disabilities, such as text-to-speech tools and adjustable font sizes. Meanwhile, Dr. Karen Liu, an education technology researcher at McGill University, suggests a blended approach might be the most practical solution. She recommends that schools use digital resources for subjects that benefit from multimedia, like science and geography, while maintaining printed textbooks for reading-intensive courses, such as English literature and history. Dr. Liu emphasizes that the goal should not be choosing one format over the other, but rather finding the right balance based on student needs and learning outcomes. In closing, while the debate continues, it seems clear that a thoughtful, balanced strategy may serve students better than an all-or-nothing approach. The key is ensuring that technology enhances learning without leaving anyone behind.
So let's go. I'm not going to say anything so that the audio is fresh in our brain and our time. The Ontario Ministry of Education pilot program was proposed by curriculum coordinators across Canada, replaces printed textbook in all Ontario schools, involves school primarily in Canada and Mississauga, included more than 40 schools in included more than 40 schools in Greater Toronto areas. What's the answer, you guys? In Greater Toronto area, I wrote down September 2022, 40 schools, GTA. That is why I picked it. Then why does Sarah Mitchell support switching to digital textbook? I think this one, it was mentioned in the audio. Do you guys agree? Our time is going. Let me be going first. B. Is it B? Her school. Her school greatly reduced. Okay. Students with learning disability benefit from text-to-speech tools. Her school significantly reduced its spending cost on. Okay, yeah, in spending cost. I think she mentioned that. Yeah, in textbook by 12%. Yes, it was mentioned. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, let me continue reading. University confirmed improved reading. A university study confirmed improved reading comprehension score. No, it wasn't. The Ontario pilot program demonstrated higher student grades. No. Yeah, it says 35% of the cost. Yeah, Sarah Michelle. Yeah. Sorry, this is the right answer. I agree with you. Yeah. TikTok people, I agree with you. Don't mind me. How do Sarah Michelle, that was the first speaker, James Crawford, differ in their student engagement? Sarah believes decision keeps interested, while James thinks screen time harms comprehension. James favors multimedia tools for science, why Sarah prefers this thing for literature. Sarah argues screen time reduces back pain. No, okay. On screens reduce back pain, why James claims that the eye strain. I think the answer is A, right? James supports interactive quiz. James, I think James, screen time. He had concern about screen time. Yeah. Then Dr. Karen recommends that printed books should be kept for how recommends that printed books should be kept for subjects written to all subjects. No, courses involving extensive reading for literature. Yeah. James Crawford overall position on digital suggests he is. Yeah, this is the answer. He's talked about it where he mentioned history and English should be in print. James Crawford overall position on digital textbook suggests he is what's it called? He is critical but willing to recognize certain benefits. I think this because where he acknowledged the benefit to adjustable font size. I don't know. Do you guys agree for A with me on this number five? Because he said something after talking about like equity that lower income family cannot afford, and or he also said, although he acknowledges that they have adjustable font sizes, and for people that have disability, they can adjust the font sizes. So he recognized certain benefits. This is why I'm picking this. Hmm? KB Rant, you said D. Let me see. Primary concerned about the cost. Overall position. No, they said overall position. He was concerned about the cost, yes, because of the equity, but the overall position is the fact that he was critical. That is, he countered. He was critical about it. Like he was concerned about the cost is one of it, but also he acknowledges the benefits. I don't know. I think this is more suitable. I don't think D is the answer. KB Rant. Yeah, he was concerned about cost, but that's one of the things he identified. He talked about higher grade too, but the overall he was critical about. He analyzed it critically, but then recognized the cost. I don't know. Do you guys agree with D? I think majority. Another person said D. Sorry, let's go with majority of the people. Do you people agree with D? Me, I said A. So let's vote. The highest people will pick will take the award home. TikTok people, how many people agree with D? A, okay, we have one A. YouTube people, please, yeah, let's pick a vote. 1 point that James Crawford. Let's pick a vote on this one. Two A's. We have two A's from TikTok. Me, 3A. We have one D. That's Rant. KB Rant. Yes. Helen Aja, you said D. Okay. We have two D, three A. A is still winning, but let me read the last one. 1 point that James Crawford agrees on regarding digital textbook is that we have 4A. 1 point that James Crawford agrees on regarding digital book is that they help reduce annual spending costs. No. You see how whenever you are listening to places where they are calling name, and if you're taking note, make sure you're writing names of the people. You see how they are asking this person's name now. If you didn't write down the name, you wouldn't know who is who. So, like when you're writing notes, knowing where you are writing, don't confuse the speakers. Help school reduce the annual spending on materials. Provide. Is it this one? Okay, sorry. Lowers physical back pain. It was. Is it not Mitchell that talked about lowering physical back pain by half? I have it under Mitchell, Sarah Mitchell. I think is that I don't know if this James, the last speaker, I missed out on the name, and that is why I'm struggling. I know somebody mentioned more up to date, and that was the last speaker. that was talking about a balanced approach. But okay, the second speaker is James Crawford. So no, strange from carrying book, James. PPT, assist students who have difficulties with standard course. No, no, that's not it. He mentioned 12% higher prints. So what do you guys, last speaker was Karim. Okay, Karim. Yeah, okay, yeah. He's the one that talked about balanced approach. Then yeah, I wrote low my abbreviation. I couldn't figure out what my for the best I can't figure out my abbreviation. Not my abbreviation, my handwriting. My pen went faint in my book. It said lower something. I think that's where the listing lies. I couldn't see what I wrote there. Fine. So what do you guys not B? Yeah, it's not B. The person that talked about up to date is Karen. James, hair school reduce. We have to pick one. Time is up since hair school reduced the annual spending on. It was Sarah that talked about reducing annual spending. Provide more. This one was talked about by Miguel. So let me use elimination. Assist students who have difficulties with standard tests. Okay, yeah, he's the one that it is D. Is D because he's the one that talked about adjustable. I didn't even read that option since, and I was running up and down. He talked about adjustable font size. This is it. I wrote it under his name, adjustable font size. And I didn't read that last option, and that was where my answer lied. Can you see how stupid I can be? So this is the right answer, and I'm very sure of it. This is the right answer, and I'm very sure of it. And this because I didn't read the last option. I was busy reading the first three, and I left this one. He said it adjustable font size. That was one of the I was acknowledging the good thing about it. James Crawford from Calgary. Yeah, the second speaker. Let's submit. You see? Yay! We did good today. So you see how note taking helps in taking in even though I said not everybody, but if you are struggling in taking notes, it's just abbreviation that helps. And like you said, read all your options. I always tell myself, read the option. I don't know why I was not reading that last option, and I was staring at me in the face. If I have seen it, even the one I was saying, thinking where that's where my pen didn't write properly. There, it wasn't even adjustable front side. It was staring at me in my notes under that person's name. Note taking helps. If I would have read that last option, I would have picked this thing. So practice on note taking if you can, but if you can't, practice not taking notes and see which one works for you. And like I said, note taking always helped me, and this is why I will keep taking notes. You guys, I'll see you tomorrow. We have used 2 hours 10 minutes. Okay, let's say I started late, so I started like 2 minutes late or 3 minutes late, so 2 hours and 3 minutes. So I'll see you tomorrow for Celpip reading and speaking. Speaking. Hopefully, I prepare myself. Pray that I prepare myself for this. But speaking, do you want us to do the 8 parts? Let's agree before I go. 8 part or which part of Celpip speaking before I go? I go and carry on for the day. I've not even done cleaning in my house. Tomorrow will be 1 p.m. 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Mountain Day time. That is 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Everything. All part of speaking, Jesus. You might you want to kill me. You want to kill me. Please subscribe to my YouTube if you are here too. Please subscribe. I'm begging you. You should subscribe and help me get subscribed. Let my channel grow. That's the little you can do. Then subscribe to my YouTube. I'm doing all this free. They're not paying me, and I'm here. Even today, when I was so extremely tired, I just want to sleep all day. Thank you, Nay. Please subscribe and thank you. And thank you for coming. At least we have much engagement today. We have 14 on TikTok and 13 on YouTube. The class is growing, and yeah, it should. The name is Thrive with NG. I will drop it with the one I'm using to watch. Thrive with NG. So this live video would automatically update on YouTube. So when you go to YouTube, let me show you guys again. I showed it before we started this class. So when you go to YouTube, see. When you go to YouTube and why is this not updating on YouTube? Anyways, when you go to YouTube, go to my channel. After this live video right now, you can find it again in case you want to rewatch it or something. You see the ones we did last week, the two we did last week is there. So you can always find it under live. It will update automatically. I don't have to edit it immediately. To update after a few minutes. The video is there after we finish. Thank you all for coming. See you. Thank you, Joyous Savior. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Mountain Day time. That is 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Bye. How do I end? Let me end the end stream here. Okay.